Hello, welcome to my boxing review. This is the Amir vs Collazo fight. So Amir fought Collazo on the undercard of the May vs Maidana fight. This current May, just gone. Going to the fight, Amir had fought two previous opponents that were quite weak, and obviously Amir defeated them easily, even though his last opponent, Julio Diaz, even though he struggled with him, even though Diaz was past his best, coming towards the end of his career, 2 weights above his preferred weight, and Amir struggled to break down a former champion in Julio Diaz. So, and the previous one before that against Carlos Molina, once again obviously Khan dominated but couldn't knock him out. So he changed obviously his plan, move up to 147 welterweight division, and went against Luis Collazo, former WBA welterweight champion. That was years ago. Tough competitor. He's not in I wouldn't say he's a world-class fighter, but he's always given his best in all of his fights. And even though he's come up short in the biggest fights like Ricky Hatton, Andre Berto, he's had a good winning streak. Most recently, before this fight, he fought Victor Ortiz, again former champion of welterweight, and knocked him out in 2 rounds. But then again, Victor Ortiz has been on the downward spiral for a number of years now, so I didn't really buy into that fight. Anyway, so this is a very good matchup, a good test for Amir Khan. Even though Luis Collazo is not a world-class fighter in my opinion, this would give him a tough battle. Obviously Amir Khan wanted to obviously make a statement in the 147-pound division, and obviously if he wants to fight the likes of Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, obviously the top fighters at the welterweight division, fighting someone like Collazo is a good statement. So obviously my feeling was thinking about for the fight was Amir Khan. I don't know, it was hard. I was kind of mixed feelings. Obviously Amir Khan's quick, obviously he's an exciting fighter, has a great ability to make a fight exciting, and Luis Collazo, tough American boxer. Power wise he's not the greatest puncher, but he's tough, durable, and he doesn't kind of go down easily. I don't think he's even been down before. And obviously Ricky Hatton knocked him down in his 2006 fight. So obviously when the fight came round, both in great condition, both under the welterweight limit, and there was a few belts on the line. I think it was a WBC silver welterweight belt, and I think it was a WBA international welterweight belt as well. But then again, all these sort of made up belts, and just for the sake of it put on the line, didn't really have any meaning to the fight. For me, I just preferred it was just a normal non-contest bout, no titles on the line. For me, that'd be a much more meaning for it, instead of having them throwing these random belts on the line, which is kind of pointless. Anyway, so going into the fight, Amir Khan started really well again. Amir Khan's got a reputation of fighting really quickly. If you just look back at his Andy Garcia fight, Lamont Peterson fight, he's got, like I said, he's got a real fast nature of starting quickly, and he dominated him with his quick combinations. Collazo couldn't handle it because even though Collazo is a good fighter, he lacks hand speed and movement. So eventually, after a good few rounds, Amir Khan was still dominating, and eventually he did knock him down. I'm not sure what round it was, because Amir Khan knocked down Collazo a number of times. But as the fight went on, you could tell Amir Khan was dominating this fight. It would be an easy win because Collazo just couldn't handle the speed, and that's the main factor. Because Amir Khan he's got so good hand speed and his foot movement and his ability to move around the ring quickly, Collazo just couldn't get a stamp on the fight properly. Yeah, he had these moments. Obviously, he did have he had to exchange a few good punches, and Amir Khan a few times was not in trouble, but obviously he did go toe to toe with him, and it was kind of stupid on Amir Khan's part to really exchange. When Amir Khan, obviously everybody knows, Amir Khan has got but he's got really weak chin. Obviously, just type in Amir Khan on YouTube or something, and obviously you see his fights recently. But anyway, go back to the fight. So Amir Khan knocked him down a few times, and I was shocked. I didn't think Amir Khan could really have the power to generate the power to knock down and lose Collazo, but obviously I was wrong, and he dominated the fight. It was overall, it was actually quite an easy fight, to be fair. I think in the round 10 he knocked him down, I think, twice, and again this was a really shocking moment in the fight, because credit obviously where credit's due. Amir Khan fought one of his best fights of his career up to date. I haven't seen Amir Khan look as good since about 2011 when he beat Zab Judah, and back then obviously Zab Judah was way past it, but obviously Luis Collazo, even though he's getting on a bit in age, he's still a fresh fighter, fighting quite actively. So he's no joke. I mean, if Amir Khan did lose to Collazo, obviously then again it would be not a great move for Khan's career, and it would be kind of over. But Lewis Collazo is a respected fighter and he's a credible opponent. So I can't really fault on his part that he's fought so well. Collazo, I was disappointed because I thought Collazo would give him a much more fight. Obviously he's tough, he's durable, can take a lot of punches. He took a lot of punches in the fight. He was all bruised up and he got a cut. I think he got a cut as well. So on his part it wasn't great, and I didn't expect more from Collazo. So eventually Amir Khan won the fight on a unanimous decision, quite rightly. Obviously picking up the 2 belts, the WBC Super Welterweight belt and the WBA International belt. Then again, they don't do anything for me, and even though I've heard a number of rumours that Amir Khan is number 2 ranked in the WBC welterweight rankings, obviously it's a joke because it just doesn't make any sense. He's never fought there apart from this fight before, like properly official welterweight. So how is he number 2 ranking? But then again, like I said, one of my previous videos, rankings at the minute don't really mean anything, which is stupid. Hopefully they get addressed soon. So it's a great win for Amir Khan. Submitted. He's got a credible opponent to his name, and obviously you never know who Amir Khan could fight next. I've heard a few different rumours going around that he could fight Pacquiao, he might fight Mayweather, but then again, because Amir Khan's religious, he'll have his Ramadan in September, so it obviously limits himself out the fight. And he obviously, obviously that Floyd Mayweather's not going to adjust his schedule to fight Amir Khan when he can fight someone who's got a belt or someone who might have a bigger name than Amir Khan. So that's not going to happen. Manny Pacquiao, he might fight Manny Pacquiao, but then again, they are previously obviously done with the same trainer of Freddie Roach, but obviously it's different now. And that would be an interesting fight. I mean, I think Amir Khan would give Manny Pacquiao a good run for his money. I'm not sure of the outcome. Maybe Pacquiao, even though he's lost some of his power, I still think he would beat Amir Khan. Maybe by knockout, it depends obviously what would happen in that fight. So he might fight Robert Guerrero, even though Guerrero fought last night and he come back fight. You never know what might happen. He could fight Guerrero again. He's a credible name, decent fighter, a good all-round fight, got speed, got good power. He's tough. Obviously went 12 rounds with Mayweather, even though obviously it wasn't a great fight from Guerrero's part, and he did get dominated. That'd still be a great fight for those two. Good solid welterweight fighters, good quality fighters. So you never know what might happen. With Lewis Collazo, I'm not sure what would happen with him. I mean, he is quite old now. Every single fight he's had was a big fight for him. He's failed. Obviously, Ricky Hatton, Andre Barto, obviously now Amir Khan. And you have to pick the question, how many more times does Collazo really get a chance to rebuild it? For me, this is his last fight at trying to get somewhere, maybe get another world title shot. But for me, because he got dominated quite easily, in my opinion, I don't think Lewis Collazo really deserves another world title shot because he's had a few. So I think he should still keep active, maybe keep just below the world title level and see what happens. You never know, he might get a world title shot, but I just don't see it. But then again, he's had a great career and lost a few times, and he has lost to some good fighters. But like I said before, he's never obviously beaten a credible opponent. He's only beat some subpar, maybe below the world title level opponents. But then again, he's had some great nights, obviously, in his boxing career. Made a lot of money of it, obviously, from that. So you can't moan. He's had a great career. So this has been my Amir Khan Lewis Collazo fight. As always, hope to get some more subscribers, likes, and comments, and I'll see you in my next video.